This is Kate Bamford, student number 199587003. This is my Assessment 3 submission for Educators Inquiring About the World, Semester 2, 2021. This presentation is on the Chevron gas mining project and its impact on Barrow Island's ecosystem and its unique inhabitants. Barrow Island is Class A Nature Reserve. This designation is due to the isolated but diverse biogeography, from subterranean limestone caves to intertidal zones pocketed with samphire plants. This distinctive habitat lends itself to some of Western Australia's most unique vulnerable fauna, like the black-footed rock wallaby, or priority 1 flora, like the Cocorus cognea. Barrow Island is also home to the Chevron Gorgon project, a domestic gas plant with subsea pipelines to the North Gorgon and Janslow gas fields. This project has intrinsic value to West Australia in the form of social benefit and economic stimulus, and provides 34% of Western Australia's LNG production. Whilst the Gorgon project is financially beneficial, its existence is a threat to the vulnerable island it inhabits. Biosecurity failures give rise to invasive species. Human activity like construction gives way to light and dust pollutants, and endemic species fatalities can be attributed to direct activity like driving and clearing land. Historical lack of stewardship paints a not-so-pretty picture. Past infestation of black rats have resulted in 19 extinctions. 1.8% of Chevron's quarantine inspections find evidence for new dangers like black rat resurgence, invasive ferment flies, and flower beetles. Dredging is found to have impacts on coral reef productions, subterranean caves, feeding grounds for endangered green turtles, and breeding grounds for vulnerable flatback turtles. The dust pollution surrounding developmental areas is found to have significantly impacted photosynthesis and transpiration of priority 1 flora species, threatening their survival. Recently, 975 individuals of 8 species have been translocated away from Barrow Island altogether, due to Chevron's successful bid to expand operations. The move is an attempt to preserve Barrow Island's individuals from clearing activities and expand genetic diversity by blending isolated populations. But why do we care about Barrow Island and its inhabitants? If we lose Barrow Island and its ecosystem, we won't just lose another arid block of land. Because of Barrow Island's unique isolation patterns, its variation in geography and exotic species list, it would be tantamount to losing a ruby in a coal mine. Nowhere else in the world has this environment, and there's a good chance that nothing like it will form again. Losing population on Barrow Island could plummet genetic diversity for the isolated pockets of species left, leading to interbreeding, depression, and extinction. But the environmental factor isn't the only thing we should be concerned about. Anthropological findings of both First Nation and European descent can be found in the Barrow Island limestone caves. This disturbance and destruction of Barrow Island by way of commercial expansion could bury tens and thousands of years of insights into historical isolated island inhabitation in the Pilbara. So what can we do? Local Chevron and its overseeing governmental bodies have the responsibility to Barrow Island, its inhabitants, and its history. Monitoring and quarantining procedures should be upheld and refined where necessary, and the current species and anthropological data should be investigated to make sure environmental or culturally significant interests aren't impacted by the new development. On a governmental level, environmental and compliance reviews should be undertaken to ensure that Chevron is upholding their agreements and that newer anthropological studies are factored into any planned development. This would include enforcing penalties for not meeting obligations. And finally, nationally, it would be beneficial to get social awareness through both environmental and cultural implications of Barrow Island's decline. This can happen through community outreach or petitions of change, any way to make people realize the importance and beauty of this unique island.